Ah. Okay. Aloha, Chair Watson, Commissioners. I thank you for allowing me this public process to speak, as you know, on behalf of the residents at Waipouli Courtyards who have for 16 months understandably been asking a lot of questions about where they will move and where they will live. The most recent proposal submitted on May 8th at the Hawaii Housing Development and Finance Committee proposes a budget of $2.2 million for relocation. And the issue is that housing on Kauai is not cheap. To find comparable housing to what these residents, there's 300 residents, there are 42 households that everyone knows qualifies for federal relocation and assistance benefits. When they are looking, and they have been diligently looking for alternative housing, they're finding that to find a comparable apartment, a 2-bedroom, a 1-bedroom, a 3-bedroom of the same square footage with on the island of Kauai of similar quality is at least $2,000 a month more than what they're paying now. I wish that was not the case. But if you go on Zillow and Craigslist, there are 1-bedrooms right now on Kauai on this island, $3,000 a month. 2-bedrooms going for $5,000. And so when you look at how far is that money going to go on the island of Kauai, it is not going very far. And yet federal law is it should provide 42 months of assistance. Well, the only way that you can provide 42 months worth of rental assistance with a $2.2 million budget is to move everybody to Oahu, which is exactly what this plan proposes. The plan submitted by the Department of Hawaiian Homelands on May 8th says we only found 2 available units on Kauai that meet Uniform Relocation Act requirements. And so therefore everyone will be moving to Oahu or off island. So we did our own analysis based on Kauai pricing. And based on Kauai pricing, if you say, okay, everyone's going to have to pay $2,000 a month more on average, and this is actually true fact. And you have 42 households that qualify, we're talking $3.5 million just on rental assistance. And then if you are low income, many people on Waipouli Courtyards are low income. There has to be a further subsidy because their new housing has to be 30% of their income. Many people at Courtyards at Waipouli are paying, like many people in this room, like many of us are paying 50%, 60% of their income on housing. So when we use our tax money, collective tax money to relocate all these people, they are supposed to be paying 30% of their income on housing because that is the right thing to do with public money, right? We have $25 million in Mahasda money going into this project. So if we were to follow federal guidelines on how to take care of low income people, that's another 1.9 million in the budget. And then you have the cost of moving. Most people do not want to do a self-move, which is what the relocation plan initially stated. When you add all that together, our budget of 6.8 million that we submitted is much more realistic. But that's not what is proposed. What's proposed is 2.2 million. Furthermore, everybody is to have left and vacated this building by May of next year. May 30th of next year was the proposal. 300 people finding housing all at once on the island of Kauai. What is that going to do to everybody's rental costs? 300 people all at once within 1 year having to relocate on this island. The simple reality is that they're all going to have to leave, most of them. And that's what the relocation plan submitted on May 8th says. It essentially says, we're sorry, this is the best we can do, $2.2 million, and we apologize for the inconvenience of this, but you all are basically going to have to leave Kauai. And I just question if that is the best use of $25 million of NAHASDA funds. I question if that's the best use of $25 million of all of our public money, is to force an entire apartment complex to essentially leave the island that many of them have called home their entire lives. So I just am bringing it back to this commission again to say, it's not too late to change this. It's not too late. It's not too late to have Interwest Group, which is hired by this department, have Interwest Group complete a real relocation plan. Interwest Group has been missing in action, not answering residents' questions, new staff every other month, not telling people when they will move, how their relocation benefit will be calculated, essentially not creating a relocation plan. So I would really encourage this commission to require that Interwest Group show up, talk to these residents, and answer their questions, and to do that before this project continues to move forward. Thank you.
Let's see. Next testify, JoAnn Yukimura. Mayor JoAnn.
Aloha nui,
Aloha.
Chair Watson, commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity to testify. My name is JoAnn Yukimura. In my previous life, I served on the Kauai County Council for 18 years and also 6 years as mayor from 88 to 94, where most people probably weren't born then. I speak today on DHHL's proposed Waipouli project. The project's goal is laudable, to provide housing for qualified Native Hawaiians, but its underlying assumptions and potential results, in my opinion, are not pono, because it's not okay to evict people who are working and contributing to the life and economy of Kauai in order to provide housing for others where there is no comparable housing for those who are displaced. And Kenna has just shown to me, it's impossible given the present housing situation on Kauai, which is very distressful. This proposal will not be a net gain for the community. Not some people get housing, but other people are pushed out of their housing. And in my opinion, that's not aloha. The project as presently structured will cause the eviction of many households that have little or no chance of finding another comparable place to live on Kauai. I assert this because to date, I have not seen a relocation plan based on credible documentation that shows there are viable and adequate options for those who will be displaced. Nor have I seen any document showing that HUD has approved a relocation plan for the project. If I am incorrect, please provide me and the current residents and the public with an adequate, updated relocation plan that has been approved by HUD. I wish it were possible, but it doesn't seem possible. To the extent that the project depends on federal NAHASDA monies, the lack of a realistic, workable plan is a violation of federal law. A project should not be allowed to proceed if it cannot comply with federal law. The pono way to provide condo housing for DHHL beneficiaries would be to build new units that would not cause the displacement of other residents who deserve to work and live on Kauai. It will take more money, true, and more effort, but it will be more ethical, in my opinion, and more pono. Thank you.